Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the D Square Podcast. Here with your host David Hill and my co-host Donovan Ward. As we're back here on our episode, finally back after we took a little break. Not our faults, but well, kind of. But doesn't matter. We're back here, and we have an NBA day today, fresh off of the NBA debuts that happened last night. Donovan, how you feeling today?
It's been a rough 2 days, past 2 days. My Rockets lost, my Texans
Yeah.
lost, my Parlays lost. And not only did they lose, but they both lost in such devastating ways, man. But we're going to get into that.
Yeah, Houston sports in general, it's been tough sledding.
The last month has been pretty rough.
Yeah, so hopefully the Rockets can save us. But we're going to get straight into it with the Houston Rockets. So last night in double overtime thriller, honestly, probably the greatest
Opening night game.
Night ring night game that I've seen. I mean, I can't even think of one that was even close to that one, really. But an overtime thriller, 125 to 124, going to the OKC Thunder's way as they celebrate their championship banner that night. A lot of things going on in this game. It was so chaotic. I feel like it was really like two games and really one with the first half and then like everything else in between then. But from what you saw that game, would you say, just from the Rockets' perspective, we're going to tie into this, would you say it is a bad sign or a bad game from the Rockets?
I think it's a bad game. I mean, when you look at it, one of the biggest reasons that we lost is because we didn't really have a true point guard running the floor. Fred VanVleet being out really shows how much that's going to hurt us going down the stretch this season. Amen Thompson, he was running point. He looked comfortable, but just not really having the IQ of a true point guard. And when Reed Shepherd ran point, he looked extremely uncomfortable. And the biggest thing about Reed Shepherd is whoever he's on, whoever's guarding him, just straight harasses him. He's too little. He can't play defense. That was something that stressed me out last season, but he didn't play much last season. And now this season, with him getting more minutes, that's going to stress me out a lot because he cannot play defense, bro. He couldn't guard a parked car. He's just too little. Move him out the way. Every time a defender – every time somebody sees him in front of them as a defender, they just straight attack him, like Casey Wallace did last night.
Yeah, man, honestly, I'm leaning towards bad sign. I think, number one, what you were just talking about because of the point guard situation, right? Like, Fred VanVleet is not playing basketball this year.
Right.
So, like, that situation is going to have to help itself. I know Udoka has been talking about, having a point guard by committee, but I'm looking at the stats. The one alarming thing, the first thing I saw was only 2 fast break points, right? That's because of no point guard. Nobody's getting out and starting to break off of defensive stops because the Rockets were getting defensive stops. Like, they played a really great first half and even majority of the second half, really up until that late fourth quarter. They had control of this game, and they pretty much lost it. But I was very shocked that they started the huge lineup that everybody was talking about. I didn't think that they were going to start with that lineup. And, you saw why it paid dividend, like, in this game with the rebound and, Steven Adams. But you also see the risk you have with it, which is no real point guard. And, that leads to the biggest problem I think that this team has for me. Well, not the biggest, but one of, is KD. Like, KD, his whole play style in his game really revolves around scoring. And when you put him out there in that big lineup, he's clearly the best ball handler in that lineup, which means he's gonna have to be more of the floor general, or just like handle the ball a lot more and make plays, which is something that's been a weakness of his game throughout his whole career. And you saw it like down the stretch in this game. I was very surprised and shocked to see Kevin Durant deferring to Amen Thompson and Şengün down the stretch. Now Şengün balled out. He was cooking. He was balling out. He was cooking, and 3-ball looks like it's going to be in his repertoire this season, which is awesome. But in that game, I would have wanted to see KD touch the ball at least a couple of times. I mean, he only had 6 points in the fourth quarter and in overtime, and he made critical mistakes. He had the missed free throw, which is not like him. Then he almost had a Chris Webber moment when he almost called a timeout and could have lost him the game with the Tech.
And the missed free throw, that really hurt us down the stretch because had he made that free throw, they most likely would have won the game. They lost because Shea hit that 2-pointer.
Right, and all you needed was a mid-range or a layup, which is, Shea's calling card. But again, then he had some boneheaded plays in overtime, had to turn over, dribble the ball off his foot. So all that to say, my biggest issue with Durant throughout his whole career is I feel like he hasn't proved to me yet that he can be the number one guy on the franchise and necessarily take them to the championship, because I don't feel like he has the certain tools to do that. Like Kevin Durant is the type of guy like he's a scorer, right? That's what he does. But on this team, he has to be more than that because of Fred VanVleet being out. We need you to be more of a distributor, more of a ball handler, initiating offenses, setting up Şengün, setting up all these other players. Because as good as Amen Thompson is, he's just not ready. And then you talked about Reece Shepherd, which to me, I feel like is the biggest X factor. Like, I feel like Reece Shepherd can either make or break the season for this team because of, number one, if his offense pops, like I think it can, like this team can be very unstoppable. But on the defensive side, like they had to go zone most times when he was in a game because people were just blowing by him.
And
like
even that wasn't really working for Reece Shepherd anywhere he was. But I don't see it as that big. You went toe-to-toe with the defending champs who, I know J-Dub was out.
Right.
But it's KD's first game. They haven't really built much chemistry. You know, basketball is very heavily built on chemistry.
Correct.
Outside of being good, got to have the chemistry. So it's KD's first game with them. And you're playing an OKC team that has a whole bunch of chemistry, and they're the defending champs, and you lost by 1 point. And one of the best players on the team is going to be gone all season.
But is it not concerning, though, that they brought KD in to be the closer for this team? And the first game against the team that you have to beat if you want to win a championship, he didn't do it against. Like, they brought you in because Jalen Green and all these other guys last year couldn't close down the stretch. And the first opportunity you have to do that in this game, you didn't get it done. Like, now, granted, like we said, Şengün was the one who had to do it. But, you know, you brought KD in. You're looking to extend him this offseason or at least look to, you know, build around him because of that. And the fact that that didn't happen against this team, against OKC, who, like you just mentioned, was out Jalen Williams, who is not only an all-NBA offensive player, but also a great defensive player as well. So if you're talking about winning a championship, like, you got to beat this team. And the fact that he wasn't able to do that was concerning to me because, you know, that just has to happen against this team.
I'm not too stressed about it. I think it was his very first game with the team. I think over the course of the season, he's going to be the closer. And also one of the reasons he wasn't closing is, I mean, Şengün was getting the job done down the stretch. So why would you take the ball out of the hot hand? And also, he had foul trouble.
I'm not saying
he fouled out too.
I'm not saying take the ball out of the hot hand. I'm just saying if you're Durant, you have to touch the ball at least once in the possession. Like, he was visibly like away from the ball. Like Şengün and Amen Thompson was trying to do something with the Rockets. He was just like sitting off in the wing, just like letting things happen. And it's like, bro, you're Kevin Durant. Like, they didn't bring you in for you to watch Şengün, you know, post somebody up down the stretch. Like, they brought you in for you to have the ball in your hands when the game matters. And I feel like that's alarming because, you know, I don't think that's something KD is just like, all right, I'm going to turn it on and just do it. Like, that's something he's been struggling with his whole career.
Of being what?
Of not being able to close.
You think that's something he's been struggling with?
Yes, I don't think
even when he was in Golden State and he closed.
Well, I mean,
the game.
I don't count anything in Golden State because that wasn't his team in Golden State. I'm talking about when he's the guy.
What about in Brooklyn when they played against Milwaukee and he had that crazy game? He closed every game down the stretch. I don't think Kevin Durant
No, he didn't close every game down the stretch.
When they played Milwaukee when his foot was on the line,
yeah,
he was the ball was in his hands every play.
Yeah, but then he scored 0 points in overtime.
You said. Bro, he played 48 minutes of that whole
I'm just
game.
saying he scored 40. Well, I'm saying if we're gonna hold Kevin Durant to best player in the league, especially when he was back then, standard, like, yeah, you got to score in overtime to win the game. Yes.
Kevin Durant has always been. He's never had a problem being a closer ever.
I mean, I would disagree. Like, if you think about it, his most iconic playoff moment, or at least like if you want to count the finals years with Golden State, but like it's that and then the foot on the line stuff. Like, he doesn't have too many moments of just closing out games in pivotal moments.
When they played Cleveland, when he was with Golden State, his first championship.
Again, that wasn't his team in Golden State.
But he was the closer. It was nobody's team, really.
It was Steph's team.
But it was a mix of both. It was a mix of both.
No. That's Steph's franchise. That was Steph's franchise.
It was Steph's franchise. When KD came to the team, it was really a mix of both. It wasn't necessarily, hey, this is Steph's team.
It can't be a mix of both because they already had a set culture before he got there. They already won a championship before they got there. It's not like they brought him in and was like, bro, we need you to get over the hump.
It was the same way when LeBron went to Miami. Okay, LeBron.
No. The difference is before LeBron went to Miami, Miami was the 8th seed that got swept in the first round the year before, who actually lost in the first round previous 2 years and missed the playoffs the year after they won a championship. Kevin Durant went to a team that won 73 games, went to the finals, and won the championship the year before. So it's not even the same team.
Yeah, it's not the same team. But when KD went to Golden State, they didn't just hand him the key. They didn't.
Because he didn't have no keys to be handed to. It was Steph's keys.
Bro, it was a mix of both. There was nobody. They could go to either one down the stretch. There was no one set guy.
What I'm saying is that was Steph's franchise.
Why do you think it matters to Steph Curry so much when he won the next championship without KD?
Because
they won two with KD.
Because some people thought what you were saying right now is that it was a mixture between both. And the ring that Steph got in 2022 just solidified everything. They won before KD, they won with him, and they won after him because it was originally Steph Curry's franchise.
So if it was Steph Curry's team, why were they going to Kevin Durant in those clutch moments? Why did he win back-to-back Finals MVP? They said Steph Curry was in the locker room crying because he wanted those Finals MVP so bad.
Because that was the only thing he hadn't gotten in his career. So that's why he wanted it so bad. I'm not doubting and saying that Golden State didn't go to Kevin Durant in certain moments. I'm just saying it was in Golden State, it was easier for Kevin Durant to do what he did because he was playing amongst those guys in that culture. I'm saying when the shoulder of the franchise is on him and him alone, that's not the case. You can look in OKC, you can look in Brooklyn, you can look in Phoenix, and
we'll see. In Brooklyn. When they played Milwaukee, they were going to him down.
They never got out of the second round, and he never got out of the second round. He got swept in the first round.
You didn't say what series it was. You just said going to him down the stretch in late game.
Right. That's been a struggle of his. It has been a struggle of his.
When was that a struggle?
I'm saying, as a franchise guy, you only name one scenario. You know how many other scenarios he's been in? I'm telling you, and then we can go to the very next year when they played the Boston Celtics. And when it was a sweep, every fourth quarter it was close, and they got him out of there. It was a sweep. We can go to Phoenix years, a series against Minnesota. Every single fourth quarter it was close, and then they got swept. So I'm saying Durant has struggled with closing in the fourth quarter, especially when he's the main reliable person. And I'm saying the Rockets brought him in to do that because they didn't have that last year.
So you're saying KD was the franchise guy in Phoenix too?
Yes, I think he was.
Booker. They went to the finals with Booker.
Yeah, but Booker wasn't the guy when they went to the finals. He was their best scorer, but the leader on the team was Chris Paul. I'm saying when Kevin Durant got there, the leader of the team became Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant was the one who has he has the championship experience. So the team is gonna defer to him. They're gonna defer to him over there to defer to Book. Yes, Book has been there all the time, but like they've been losing with Book. So I'm saying, especially with this team, like Kevin Durant has to be the one that is going to win you games in these moments. Like they brought him in to win games like this, and he didn't do it. And as a matter of fact, it seemed like he just didn't want the ball, which is also concerning because, again, in order to win a championship, you have to beat this team. Now, can this change or can it flip around? Yeah, I think it definitely can. But from what I've seen with Kevin Durant throughout his whole career, I'm just not going to assume that, this is not going to happen, most times in the crunch. Like, this is a huge issue. And if Şengün can elevate his game to that and do that every time, then this whole conversation don't even matter. Because if he's going to be your closer and he's going to do that, then fine. I don't anticipate that happening, though, because if that was the case, then they wouldn't have brought in KD this year. They would have just kept the same team and just said, okay, Şengün's our closer, we're going to roll with this.
I don't think they wouldn't have done that because Jalen Green, they needed to get rid of Jalen Green because Jalen Green it wasn't like, man, we need Jalen Green to be a closer. They just needed somebody else that can just score the ball, just not even in close moments, just at any point in the game.
Yeah, but then
that's why they brought in KD, just another scorer.
But then again, KD only had 6 points in the fourth quarter and the overtime combined.
Yeah.
So again, even if you're talking about just scoring, and KD's whole career, I feel like this game has made up a lot of KD's whole career. Because when you look at his stats, he still had awesome stats. You still got 23 points off of 9 of 16 shooting. Very efficient. But it's the critical moments of the games that he just hasn't figured out yet to the level of a Steph, a LeBron, a Kobe back in the days, or the other greats that we consider his peers. And I think that's always been a problem in his career, and the Rockets have brought him in to do exactly that. And like I said earlier, now going with the big lineup, you're asking KD to do something that he's proven he can't do throughout his career, which is be a playmaker. You saw it in this game again. The double teams, he had a couple turnovers after the double teams. Tried to give it to, I forgot which possession it was, but he threw it to Casey Wallace, then he dribbled the ball off his foot. And then now you got guys like Reece Sheppard who, when the man Thompson goes out, he's routed under the pressure and he's taking bad shots and not even looking at Katie and all the things. So now it's a whole lot on the plate is on Kevin Durant. And it's going to be interesting to see, like, for an 82 game sample and 16 games of playoffs, how are they going to handle this? Because, point guard by committee sounds good, but especially when you get into 7-game series, like, you need somebody who's going to be able to initiate things in offense. It doesn't have to be every possession, but especially in critical conditions. Because even the buckets Şengün got, like, it was up, like, the plays weren't that great. Like, he had a dunk that was off of a miss.
Yeah.
And then, like, he just, at one of the points, he just had to just kind of back down in the post and just do a spin and just kind of toss it up. And it went in. But, like, is that something that's going to be sustainable every single time? I don't think so. So it's just going to be interesting to see and watch how this team is going to adapt, like, moving forward in the crunch.
I think they'll be fine down the stretch of the season. I think KD will be a good performer down the stretch of games far into the season.
Well, for the season, yes, but, like, you think they can win a championship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about winning a championship. In order to win a championship, you're gonna have to beat OKC. Like, it's just nowhere around it. You're gonna have to beat OKC with Jalen Williams playing. So, and that's another thing. Like, I still heard a lot of Rocket fans say, talking about, I don't take nothing from this game. Like, we're good. Like, I can understand that, but you went 2 overtimes with OKC without their second best player and lost. We were missing
literally our starting point.
Okay, but he's not playing this. He's not going to play this whole season. He's not playing this whole season. It'd be different if he was out and he was coming back, but he's not coming back.
But he got hurt like three weeks before the season. It wasn't like this. This was a set team. Him being the starting point guard was a set team. He got injured like 3 weeks before the season started.
I know, but I'm saying he's not coming back. It'd be different if he was missing. It's like, we're going to have him for the next season.
So they're going to have to adjust as the season goes on. They're going to have to learn and adjust. You can't play one game and expect them to have everything figured out.
I understand that, but OKC didn't have their second best player, and they beat you in 2 overtimes, and you had majority control over the whole game. You were up by 10 at one point in the fourth. Like, I don't care what game of the season it is. If you're up 10 in the fourth quarter and it gets extended to you go up in multiple overtimes with chances to win, like, that's still a bad loss. We just can't bypass that. Like, I get the whole, okay, like, guys got to adjust. Okay, cool. And I'm not saying, like, the season is over. I'm just talking about them winning the championship. Like, yes, they're going to go on and have a great season. They're probably going to win 60 games or something like that. But to win a championship, yeah, I'm looking at this game. I'm kind of like, I'm not liking what I'm seeing.
It's overreaction. Heavy overreaction. I saw games last year where OKC didn't look good down the stretch, and they ended up winning the championship. So it's just, like I said, 82 games, one game, especially not even just one game, the very first game. I think it's an overreaction.
I mean, even you saying that, OKC had a couple games where it didn't look good in down the stretch last game, like, OKC is not losing games that they have control in. Like, they had a couple. Yeah, they had one against Denver in the playoffs.
Literally in the finals, they lost to Indiana in a game that they had control.
Which game are you talking about?
Game 1 when Tyrese Halliburton hit the shot.
Okay, yeah, but that's in the finals though.
So, all right. Whatever.
No, I'm saying that's in it. No, yeah, I'm saying they had that, and then the game against Denver in the playoffs. But, like, that wasn't the first game of the year against a team that they need to beat in order to win a championship.
So the first game of the year is more important than the.
I didn't say
game
that.
In the
I didn't say it was more important. I'm just saying they were already at the point where they were in the finals.
Yeah, I'm saying so blowing that speaks larger volumes than the first game of the season with a brand new player.
How does that speak louder volumes? The Rockets can't win a championship unless they beat OKC. Can we agree on that? Like, they have to beat OKC if they want to win the championship.
Sure. I mean, OKC can lose to another team in the playoffs. It might not have to be OKC.
If we're just being realistic. Like,
you got to be able to beat OKC.
Yes, they have to be able to beat, which I think they're able to beat OKC.
It was 1 point.
But it was 1 point against a team who was missing their second best player in 2 overtimes that they had control of the game in. Like I'm saying, OKC's not okay. If the roles were flipped, OKC's not losing a game like that. Let's be real. If the roles were flipped, OKC's not gonna lose a game like that.
I've seen OKC lose games like that.
Like this.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, every team loses game. Literally every team, bro. A 10-point lead in the NBA now is not no. Everybody knows no lead is
that's
safe.
fair. That's
yeah,
fair.
everybody knows no lead is safe.
That's fair.
If you're up by 12 points, that's 4 threes, and everybody can shoot threes.
I think the thing that's more alarming is that I don't think this game will be a 1-point game if Jalen Williams plays, and that's my thing. Like OKC wasn't hitting shots at all. They weren't making threes at all, and like. Credits to the Rockets defense, yes. But if Jalen Williams plays in that game, like it's probably not a 1-point game. So it might not go to overtime. Because Shea only had he only had 5 points in the first half. Like if Chat doesn't play awesome in the first half, like the Rockets could have really blew them out. But I'm saying you can't really bank on that because like when Jalen Williams comes back, it's gonna be, you're not gonna be able to just live off of that. So like I said, I still think the Rockets are good, obviously. Like they're gonna win a bunch of games and, they can get to the Western Conference Finals and they could get to the finals. But the concerns that I had going into the season, like before the season started, everything that I had concerns about kind of reared its head in that game and against OKC, which I feel like is their biggest threat to win the title because like I think they're better than Denver. They're clearly better than everybody, in the league really, except OKC. And OKC was one man down and still was able to win that game. Because you would even agree, like, they should have won that game.
Yeah, they should have.
They should have won that game. And it was pretty inexcusable that they didn't, considering, like, they had control over a majority of it. So that's just, my whole thing with that. But we'll move along, though. We'll move along to the other team in Houston that's playing football that just lost another game on the road against Seattle. Pretty ugly game to watch, really. I mean, I was considering turning it off in multiple points. But moving forward, I think we talked about last time how everybody kind of overreacted to the Texans starting 0-3. I at the time felt like they still could have won the division. Now I think it's kind of looking really shaky because it doesn't seem like the coach is slowing down. Obviously, Jacksonville has came down a touch, so I think they can catch them. But just off of that game, like, is there still hope left for this team this year?
Yeah, there's hope left because even though Indianapolis is looking good, there's still no, like, clear-cut best team in the league. I think everybody knows that as of right now. Like,
yeah,
the best team can lose to the worst team any given Sunday right now.
All right.
So I think there's definitely still hope, and now it's like slim to none. Because at 2-4, and the Colts, like you said, they don't like they're going down. I don't know if winning the division winning the division is kind of in the rearview mirror right now.
Yeah.
And the offense just looks. I continue to say this all the time. The offense just looks horrible. Like they scored the same amount of touchdowns as the defense.
Yeah.
That's and then even when they
excuse
put them out for the 2-point conversion, you can't convert. The defense looks completely fine. Like I have no problem with the defense. It's just that offense, man. And C.J. Stroud, he had like pocket PTSD. He can't roll out to his left. If you look at him, every time he rolls out, it's to his right. It's to his right. It's to his right. And I'm pretty sure NFL coaches and players are sitting in the field room saying, "Oh, he only rolls out to his right. Just send pressure to the left."
Right.
And by the time the pressure gets there, he's gonna run out to his right, and our man should beat him. It's not rocket science. So and Nico Collins, I saw he was out with a concussion.
Yeah.
So he's going to be out. Your best offensive weapon is going to be out. The run game looks bad. Just everything looks horrible. And the play calling, man, is just horrible. I get so frustrated.
I was going to ask, do you feel like this team's offense was better last year than it is this year?
Definitely.
Yeah, because I didn't think it could get as bad as it did last year. But it's reached a new low this year for sure.
Right, why are we calling run plays on 3rd and 6?
Yeah.
Young leaders with one option in a run game that's not already good. Our only option is our running back. Now 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, okay. 3rd and 6. A lot of issues to be addressed, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest takeaway I got from this game is that the Texans are failing C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
And, I've seen a lot of Texans fans talk about how, C.J. is a one-season wonder. He's clearly not as good as we thought he is. But I'm just like, man, if this guy had any protection in the pocket consistently, because he still shows you, blips and pieces here and there that he can still make throws. He make throws is better than any quarterback in the league. But when you're under that much pressure every single time you drop back in the pocket, like not only does it affect what happens on the field, but it affects your mental as well.
Yeah.
So now you're overthinking everything, right? And so, thank God as of right now he's not hurt or anything like that. But, you start thinking about those things when you get to an offensive line that's bad. And then, like we said, like the offensive coordinator doesn't help with anything. Like, I don't see any plays being called that kind of like, okay, get CJ in the rhythm. Football and basketball are kind of the same where it's like the quarterback, like, you got to make some easy calls just to get things going. Like, players, if their shots is off, let me get to the free throw line. Let me see it go in one time. Like, I don't see any of that from the Texans offense as far as just like making life easier for CJ Stroud. At this point, your offensive line is not that good. So why are we running play actions and dropping back, in the pocket?
Like 10 yards. And if he gets sacked, that's a 10-yard loss.
Exactly. Like it should be things that are kind of quick. And I've been saying this for the longest. Like, your offensive line is not that good. Let's draw up things that are going to be quick, first read, second read things. And if it's not there, throw the ball away. You know what I mean? But they continue to call this game like they still have faith in the old line, which is just not there. And, again, you don't have a run game. The offensive line is not that good. Now your best offensive weapon, like you said, is going to be out. After, number one, you weren't even utilizing him like that anyways. So now he's going to be completely out the picture. That's not a good sign. And so I just looked at this really is that this franchise is failing C.J. Stroud. Like, you should have addressed this in the offseason. You went through training camp seeing what you had, and you still willingly went out with this team, with this offensive line. This should have been addressed last year. Like, it's no excuse for it. It's no excuse. And, D'Amico Ryans is clearly frustrated, and he should be because
his job is on the line now.
Right, exactly. Because of this. And it's unfair because, obviously he's the head coach because he oversees everything. But his side of the ball is holding up his end of the bargain. Yeah. And the other side is not. And the other side hasn't been that way since CJ's first year. So, I think obviously, the OC being fired is definitely on the table now if it wasn't already. But also for a young quarterback to just be going through offensive coordinators like that definitely isn't good for the rest of CJ's career.
But at what point do you fire an offensive coordinator? Like, do you do it in the middle of the season? Do you wait till the end of the season?
I would say not during the season, unless you just feel like you have the guy. Because, again, like, you flip offensive coordinators through the year, like, you got to redo your whole offense.
Yeah.
Which takes –
in the middle of the season,
right,
which is pretty crazy.
Right, exactly. So, which, takes a whole offseason to complete. We talking new plays, we talking formations, pass protections, like, we talking everything. So, if it gets just absolutely chaotic, then I think the only way they could do that is if, like, they set CJ for the rest of the year, or if, God forbid, he got hurt or something. And just like, okay, the season is already waste. We're coming in with this, whoever the backup is,
Mills.
Right, Mills. So we can just go ahead and let the OC go and just come back for next year. So I think that's the only way you can fire him during the year. But, I mean, if things keep up this way, like, I wouldn't be shocked if they let him go during the season. Because, like you said, like, I don't really believe in Indianapolis like that, really. But, I mean, if they keep winning games, I mean, it is what it is.
I kind of believe in – well, when you say believe in them to do what?
Well, I didn't to win a division. I still feel like the Texans had a chance if they just kept winning games, and then if they, they play each other twice. So I feel like the Texans could win those games, especially the games that are going to be close and whatnot. And credit to the coach and credit to Daniel Jones, like they've really, they're running the table and they're winning these games. And against the Chargers, they just made the Chargers look like, they're not even in the same lane as them. So I don't necessarily believe them to win the conference or nothing like that, like as a 1 seed. But I think now winning the division is definitely more in their favor than what it was a couple of weeks ago. But
I think they can win the conference.
Like go to the Super Bowl?
Oh, no, I'm tripping. No, I mean I have the best record in the conference.
Oh, like be the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to finish off the season, I mean, we'll see. Like Kansas City looks like they're back, and now with their full roster with Rashee Rice back, I don't see them losing too many more games soon. So we'll have to see with that. But
go to the Super Bowl, I don't think it's completely out the picture. I mean, I just don't know what Daniel Jones looks like in the postseason. Nobody does. So
Well, I mean, we
He
did
could-
see when he looked like in postseason when he was with New York.
what season was that?
That was 2022 against Minnesota. They beat Minnesota and then they lost to Philly.
So I mean, it's not completely out the picture. We gotta see what he looks like with this new team. I'm not gonna completely rule out the Super Bowl for them
I don't
because
think
they're a good team, but and also it's not again. There's not really a top dog in the AFC right now. The way Buffalo's playing, they could easily beat Buffalo because Buffalo's defense sucks.
Yeah.
And who else in the AFC right now?
Well, like
is
I said,
challenging?
Kansas City
yeah.
is ramping up. So
Yeah. So I mean, we had to wait till January to find that one out.
yeah, I mean, I think the league is as open as it's
Yeah,
been as a
in a
whole
minute.
for a minute because it was either Kansas City, Buffalo, or Baltimore, and now like both of those teams are not as good or have
Yeah.
gone through down years. So I think the league as a whole is open. I'm just going based off of like history. Like
Yeah, I want to put money on them to go to the Super Bowl, but I also want to bet against them. Like it's just right now anything is
But you
possible.
think they can for sure have the 1 seed?
Yeah, I think they can. Yeah.
So like a bye and then a home game in the divisional. But then if they like,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like this year, a bye week and a home divisional game could mean you match up with Buffalo in the playoffs, which
And
is like.
But, I mean, that's not crazy right now. Like the way the defense is playing, you might want Buffalo. And even
I'm not
the way,
necessarily say you might just want to play.
Bro,
I don't think anybody just wants to play Buffalo.
even the way the offense is playing, like Josh Allen hasn't looked like his MVP season. Like when they played Atlanta, they looked really bad. Even when he played New York the second week, the Jets, he just didn't look that good.
Well, I mean, he just wasn't. He just wasn't as aggressive. They were very conservative game, which it doesn't take too much to beat the New York Jets. So
Right, but I'm just saying, just in general, the Bills just haven't looked good. They had the good game against the Ravens. Josh Allen looked great that game, but outside of that, he just hasn't really looked great.
Well,
Like
I'm anticipating offensively they're not going to be the same team they are right now in January when it's money time.
But even if their offense,
And plus, the Bills don't lose. Like they always win at least one game every year in the playoffs.
yeah, but it depends. Okay, let's say the Colts let's say they both get a bye week and they match up in the conference championship. The Bills have won their one game.
I don't.
It's a coin toss.
I don't see the Colts getting to the AFC.
I mean, you're basing off history. I'm basing off of what we're seeing. Like again, it's not going to be a dogfight. There's no dogfight right now. It's just so open. Now, if it were talking about like the Colts last year, nah, absolutely not. But right now, it's.
But realistically, like obviously they have better records than them. But realistically, like, do you trust the Colts more to get to the AFC Championship game than the Bills?
Nah, not right now. But again, anything is possible right now.
Well, I'm sure anything's possible. I'm
bro,
talking about what you believe in.
Right
though.
now, it's a coin toss. But I only say that because
coin toss?
Bro, I only say that because right now we've seen Josh Allen play in the playoffs. We don't really know too much of what Daniel Jones looks like in the playoffs.
Well, I mean, we saw he had one good game against Minnesota, and then he had a stinker versus Philly.
Okay, yeah, but that was also years ago. He's in a whole new system now. So we just have to see. I'm just saying we're gonna have to see what it looks like. I'm not ruling them out, but I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Okay, I mean,
I'm not saying anything is for sure.
well, I'm just saying like who I trust more now. Like I would trust Buffalo to get to the AFC Championship game before I trust the Colts. Like if the Colts get to the AFC Championship game, I'm thinking something catastrophic had to happen for the Colts to get to the AFC Championship.
Yeah, but you're saying that because we've seen Josh Allen in the championship game last season. Yeah, we've just seen it so many times. So that's the only reason you're saying that. He was in the championship game last season. So you're just saying that because you've seen it, but.
It's not only have I seen it, it's just because like the head honcho of both teams, like I trust Josh Allen more in postseason success than I choose Daniel Jones. Like,
Right, but you're saying Josh Allen and Daniel Jones when there's 51 other guys on the roster. It's 22 guys that play on the field.
Yeah, but the quarterback has the most impact, though.
He has the most impact, but right now Buffalo's defense, the reason Josh Allen loses against Kansas City, he plays well, but guess what? The defense can't stop Kansas City in the playoffs.
But that's against Kansas City, though.
Bro, the Colts offense looks insane right now. Jonathan Taylor and Daniel Jones look great. Michael Pittman Jr. Everybody looks good right now. They are balling.
I get that.
So
I'm just saying, I just want to see how sustainable it is. Because, again, I feel like the only Super Bowl contender that they played this year in L.A., they lost to, and Daniel Jones played his worst game by far with 2 picks, and the last one was extremely bad. So I want to see him. I know they handled Chargers, but the Chargers were never Super Bowl contenders for me. Although I was high on Justin Herbert, but they were never Super Bowl contenders in my eyes.
But yeah, they lost to the Rams, but they also could have won that game had Mitchell not fumbled the ball through the end zone.
Yeah, but that was in the third quarter. Like the Rams, that was going to be a close game regardless. Whether if he scored there or not. Like the Rams are going to come back in the game and win.
That would have made a big difference, though.
That would have been a big
They would
difference.
have went up 2 scores.
It would have been a big difference, but I feel like the game would have still have gotten to a point where it was in the balance to where any team could have won that. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the Rams could have still got it close to where the game was winnable for them as well. I'm just saying, like in a scenario against, like obviously it's against the Rams, so they're not gonna have to see him anytime soon. But like against a team that's Super Bowl bound, Daniel Jones played his worst game by far, not even close. So I want to see him play more of those teams and see how they stack up. Because as bad as we say the Buffalo defense is, and yes, it is horrid, the playoff atmosphere in the playoffs in itself is a beast to get over anyways, especially for a quarterback like Daniel Jones, who really hasn't proven much in the postseason. So I want to see him against teams who are Super Bowl bound to see how he actually plays. And the first team that he played this year that was, at least in my opinion, he didn't play that well. So
what about the game against Denver? One of the best defenses in the league.
No, he played well versus Denver. And I mean, like, give him credit because a call that I have never in my life seen. Was that game with the field goal penalty? I can't remember. Or that might have been. I think that was the Chargers game. Never mind. But he played well against Denver. But I mean, again, this is just me. I don't see Denver as a Super Bowl contender, like legit. They could easily. They're 5-2 right now. They could easily be like 2-5 or 3 or something. Like a lot of those games were losable that they probably should have lost. Like that game against New York, they definitely should have lost that game. But credit to them, they came back and won. So I don't know. I'm not a huge believer in the teams that like, oh, we find ways to win type of thing. Like the good teams dominate opponents. Like, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, you have a couple games during the seasons where you win some close ones or you win some games that you just had no business winning. But, like, the good teams go out and they outplay other teams and they win. So we'll see how they look, but I don't necessarily see Denver as a Super Bowl contender. But Daniel Jones played well against them and against a great defense as well. So we'll see. Moving on, Bucs versus Lions. Monday night was honestly kind of like the showcase of the 2 MVP candidates, in my opinion, with Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. But Bucs they looked pretty outclassed against the Lions coming off of a loss, which is what I kind of assumed. Like, Detroit off of a loss is one of the scariest teams to play, especially off of a loss like that to Kansas City. So I knew they were going to come ready versus the Bucs, but this is Baker's worst outing this year. I mean,
which sucks because I needed him to play good to win my fantasy matchup.
Yeah.
Bro, I was 5-1 in fantasy. My opponent had Jahmyr Gibbs. It was Jahmyr Gibbs versus Baker Mayfield. Had Baker Mayfield thrown one more touchdown, they couldn't get the ball going at the entire first half. They get the ball across the 50 one time.
And Baker was he was missing easy throws.
Easy stuff. Interception. Had he not thrown the interception, I might have been able to win. I lost by 4 points, 118 to 114.
Yeah, Baker was missing. That was really what was super crazy. I mean, I was like, dang, like Baker, he's missing layups right now. Like he had a couple touchdowns that he missed, but Aiden Hutchinson's presence was just like everything in that game. But is this a higher on Detroit game, or do you come from this game being like, okay, Detroit's gonna still be awesome this year, or is your faith kind of debunked in Tampa Bay from this game?
My faith's not debunked in Tampa Bay. I just think Detroit, like you said, Detroit off of losses is crazy. Every time they lose, they just come back. Like when they lost to Green Bay, and dropped 52 on Chicago.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Like Detroit off of losses is genuinely just insane. I don't know what it is about. I don't know if it's Dan Campbell who just gets fired up, but Detroit off of losses is crazy. And also just Jahmyr Gibbs just also had an insane game. Mm-hmm. I didn't really get to watch too much of that game, but I just know he had a crazy game on Monday night.
Yeah. He had the first touchdown he had, I forgot they said, but it was like the highest speed a running back has gotten on a touchdown.
I think it said 22. I think it was 22.8 miles per hour.
Right, yeah, which is like, crazy stuff.
He was moving.
Right, and really like we were saying, like Detroit is one of the best bounce back teams in the league.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a Dan Campbell stat though. I think he's always going to have his team ready to go. I think he always knows the importance of a loss and how it can affect them moving forward. And, they can adjust. And, the coordinators have been fine. I mean, honestly, like Ben Johnson has gone to Chicago and does his thing, but like the offense has still been good. The defense has still been really good.
That's another thing about Monday night. Every throw Baker made, there was a DB like right there to tip the pass, deflect the pass, or something. It was actually insane watching. It was like every time those DBs were saving the game. Because Baker, I mean, they were never really out the game, to be honest with you.
No. Until like their last possession.
Like the last 2 minutes, it was kind of like, okay, I might as well turn it off. But before that, they were never out the game, and Baker was making throws to wide open dudes, and you would just see a DB just like completely stretch his body out to deflect the pass. It was just, and I think all of the guys were backups.
Yeah, they were all backups. They had some guys missing, so which is that's a coaching stat. And that's why I'm not really taking much into this loss versus, for Tampa Bay, because I don't think Baker's going to play that bad again. Like 28 of 50, a pick and a touchdown. But, 4 sacks is the biggest thing.
I think he had a bad game, but again, with athletes, you're bound to have even the best players are bound to have a bad game, 1 or 2 bad games a season.
Right. Yeah. And it's just unfortunate that this is probably the best team that they've played. They're going to have to see this team again if they want to win the championship. These are probably like 1 or 2 of the best 2 teams in the NFC. If you want to throw Green Bay in there as well. But at least 2 of the top 3 teams in the NFC played, and he didn't have his best outing. So, again, and also for seeding in the playoffs too. Like, both of these teams are 5-2. Down the stretch, like, we don't know. This could be the difference between who gets the 1 seed or the 2 seed. So, as a Bucs fan, you're kind of kicking yourself in the foot like, dang, we kind of needed this one. But obviously moving forward, I don't think it's going to affect, like, either they're going to get to the playoffs or not. But for the offense, like, now Mike Evans carted off the field. We don't know when his timetable is. This is the second time he's gotten hurt this year. So
it was a concussion and his shoulder. It was
right.
Clavicle broken. I think that's what it was.
Right.
I hope I got the right bone.
And then, Emeka Ibuka, who's been good, has been kind of banged up.
Yeah.
Have had a couple of nagging injuries this year as well. So you're going to have to start preparing for Mike Evans not being on the field for a majority this season. And the Buccaneers have a lot of weapons, so there's definitely room that they can fill in for that. But that's just something you're going to have to think about. And, as great as this team is, the run game has not been that great. Like, between, Rasheed Wright and, all the other players they got, like, they haven't done anything running the ball. And I think that's my only concern about this team is that, tough yardage. The 3rd and 1s and the 4th and 1s and 4th and 2s, like, those are tough yards for them to get. And against a team like Detroit, who is going to blitz, and you got Aiden Hutchinson and all those guys at the line, like, you got to have those yards. So I think that was kind of my biggest takeaway from that one as well. But I think Baker and the team will be fine. I do think his MVP, as far as him winning MVP, kind of took a hit, especially that same night, Sam Darnold playing well, which we'll get into that next. We already touched on that. But, yeah, I think that's the only thing that kind of really took a hit. Which, by the way, I told you Sam Darnold wasn't going to get 2 passing touchdowns against the Texans, although he almost had one.
Yeah, I was about to say he almost had one. He had one in Jackson Smith and Jig, but it was extremely close. Yeah, 2's not insane, but
yeah, but I just knew that the Texans were gonna play. But all right, moving on to the last one, Eagles versus the Vikings, in a game that people are saying is Jalen Hurts' best game of his career, which I'm like, if y'all are saying that just tells me I haven't been watching Hurts. Maybe I'll say regular season for sure. He had a great regular season game. But, again, everybody was just waiting to hate on Hurts after back-to-back weights against the Broncos and the who was it, the Giants. I'm just like, I just sat back and didn't say nothing because I knew something like this was going to happen. Like, again, is Hurts going to do this every week? No. Hurts probably is not going to even do this the rest of the season. But my whole thing is that Hurts does what is necessary to win games, not what's necessary for him to win MVP or to be flashy. And I'm saying, like I said, is he going to do this again for the rest of the season? Maybe so, maybe not. I don't know. But he has the ability to. And that's my thing. People were talking like he doesn't have the ability to do this. He doesn't have the ability to stretch the field with the passing game. He doesn't have the ability to be accurate with the football. He has the ability. He just does what's necessary to win. He's not out here chasing stats, trying to win MVPs or nothing like that. Like, that's not his game. So, but when the moment calls for it, he does. Like, Minnesota's not the greatest team, but their defense is very good. And you don't just normally see guys winning wide open on the field versus Minnesota. That happened in this game, and Jalen Hurts hit everybody right on the money and made winning plays. So all this Jalen Hurts is not
receivers, man. He got some really good receivers.
Yeah, a lot of quarterbacks in the league have really good receivers too. Like that's not nothing. A lot of quarterbacks in the league have really good receivers.
He got great weapons around him. He got a lot of good pass protectors around him, man.
Yeah, so a lot of quarterbacks have that too. I mean, we can go down the list. Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield. All these guys have great offensive line. So this is no excuse. I'm just saying, all this Hurts is not top 10 quarterback. Like, can we all stop this?
Oh, no. He's top 10. He's top 10 for sure. There's not 10 quarterbacks better than him, but he's just not. I'm gonna say it again. He's not elite. I don't know how many times I gotta say that. He's just not elite.
So, again, if the elite quarterbacks only has, if that category is only 3 quarterbacks, then I could understand your argument. But the fact that it's not. It's just not. And if the other quarterbacks in that category Hurts has beaten in the playoffs and has won a Super Bowl on top of that, then Hurts has to be on that category. Like I said, we can talk about who's elite or not.
He does not have to be there.
Why can't he? Why can't he not? Because you're gonna say Stafford's in that category, and you're gonna say Mahomes in that category.
No, I'm not gonna say Stafford's in that
category. Okay, but you're gonna say
Stafford's one of the better quarterbacks, but he's not elite.
Okay, but you're gonna say Mahomes,
right?
And Jalen Hurts has outplayed him in 2 Super Bowls and beat him in 1. So, again, if the dudes that you have in that category, Hurts has either beaten in the postseason or outplayed in the postseason, and he has a Super Bowl MVP on top of that, there's no way Hurts cannot be in that category. It's just not.
Elite?
Now, me personally.
Did Eli Manning have a Super Bowl MVP, right?
Yeah, Super Bowl MVP.
Eli Manning was elite? He was considered an elite quarterback?
No, because Eli Manning didn't outplay. Who did Eli Manning outplay? And plus, Eli Manning over a season led the NFL in picks multiple times and only got to the playoffs, 4 times? So it's not
even coming off the Super Bowl season.
It's not even the same thing. Jalen Hurts had a legitimate MVP. Jalen Hurts finished second in MVP in 2022. Eli Manning hasn't even had a top 5 ballot.
Do you think Jalen Hurts finishing top 2 in that MVP voting? Do you think that was a lot on Shane Steichen? Because look what Shane Steichen's doing in Indianapolis right now.
Do I think a lot of it is on Shane Steichen?
Yeah.
No, because he 2 years later won Super Bowl MVP.
No, I'm saying his MVP season.
Oh, just that
season. Do you think that had a lot to do with Shane Steichen?
Yeah, you could say so, because Hurts has gone through a lot of offensive coordinators. But I don't think enough people highlight that, though. Like Mahomes and Allen and Lamar, like they've had a consistent OC throughout the years. Jalen Hurts hasn't had that, which is why you see inconsistencies, because he's always learning a new offense every single year, which I don't feel enough people really give him credit for, that he's made stuff like this work. And made this team is still good like every single year because of Jalen Hurts. I'm just saying, like, whether he's elite or not, like, me personally, over the stretch of a season, I think that you can rely on him as a team over a stretch of the season for you to get your team to the playoffs and to be in Super Bowl contention. And if you can do that to a certain degree, you have to be elite.
Yeah, you can rely on him. But he's not an elite quarterback to me, like, in whatsoever.
He doesn't have elite stats, but the one category that he has is the one category that ultimately matters.
Super Bowl win?
Well, I mean, even you can look outside the one Super Bowl win. Like, think about how many times this team has won a division, gotten to the playoffs, won games, and they've been to the Super Bowl twice in recent time. Like, it's not too many quarterbacks. The only 2 quarterbacks who have gone to Super Bowls twice in a span of a couple of years is Mahomes, and that's it. 49ers did it, but they did it with 2 different quarterbacks. So, again.
Jimmy Garoppolo got them to the NFC Championship, though. I mean, not the Super Bowl, but pretty damn close.
And they also lost the NFC Championship game because of him.
But I'm saying, but I'm saying he was right there. They're right there.
Okay, I mean.
So I'm just saying, basically what I'm trying to say is.
But what are you saying? Because, like, if Hurts gets to the championship game, he's not losing it.
What I'm saying is, An elite roster can make a lot of quarterbacks look better than what they are. Yes, Hurts is a good quarterback. Yes, he's top 5 for sure. Probably top 7. Top 7 or 8.
Do you think this team is as good as the team that went to the Super Bowl in 2022?
I think the only missing piece was just Saquon. That's it.
Well, from your point of view with Steichen, I would argue that team is better because of the offensive coordinator and the play calling.
I think the only difference is Shane Steichen. I mean Saquon. I mean, yeah, he won a Super Bowl last year with the best defense in the league, the best offensive line that we've seen in a long time, a 2,000-yard rusher. Was Devontae Smith the Pro Bowler last year?
Not last year.
So a Pro Bowl wide receiver and a perennial Pro Bowl.
Yeah, but he's done it. But he's also gone to the Super Bowl without a 2,000-yard rusher though.
So did Jimmy Garoppolo.
What?
See what I'm saying?
Okay,
so
but Jimmy Garoppolo. But what do you mean? So did Jimmy Garoppolo? Like Jimmy Garoppolo.
I mean, it can be done, but just because you do it doesn't make you an elite quarterback.
If you do it consistently, I would argue.
He did. He went to the Super Bowl twice and won.
Yes. You know how many quarterbacks have done that recently outside of Mahomes? Nobody. And by the way, the Garoppolo team that you keep on bringing up, the Rams team that he lost to, he's not the same team, but like same quarterback.
In the NFC Championship?
Yeah, same quarterback, same coach. Like the core is still there, and Hurts beat them.
When in the NFC Championship game the next year?
No, not next year. Then when they just played each other in divisional.
When the Eagles played.
The Eagles played the Rams in divisional this past year. Like it's only 2 quarterbacks that have gone to Super Bowls multiple times in the last couple of years. So if everybody could do it, they would.
I'm not saying everybody could do it. I'm just saying because
so that makes you elite then. If you do something that everybody can't do, then that makes you elite.
It does not make you an elite quarterback. Going to the Super Bowl is not specifically on the quarterback and the quarterback alone. It is a team effort. Now, yes, the quarterback plays the biggest part.
So why did they get to those Super Bowls then? You think they got to the Super Bowls because of Saquon Barkley?
Who closed out the game against the Rams? The Rams were this close to winning the game. Who closed it out? Saquon Barkley in this big run.
No, the defense closed it out because the Rams are about to score on the end.
Okay, even the defense, that has nothing to do with Jalen Hurts. They got to the Super Bowl. Maybe in 2022, you could say Jalen Hurts. You could say they got to the Super Bowl because of Jalen Hurts. Okay, but they did not win this Super Bowl just this past year because of Jalen Hurts.
So why did Hurts get the MVP then?
Because he's
because quarterbacks don't win the Super Bowl MVP every year. No,
they don't win every year, but it's very, very, very likely that a quarterback is going to win MVP unless a position player just has an insane game. A position player has to have.
Hurts had 2 touchdowns on the ground and 2 passing. Like, come on, what are we talking about? Like, bro, too many people try to shortchange everything Hurts does. Like, yeah, he doesn't have the flashy plays, but what he does on the ground and on the air, like when he wants to pass through the air, that's the thing. When he wants to, when it's necessary. He doesn't just do it every game, which is, you can criticize him for that, which is fine.
So wouldn't that literally not make you an elite if you don't do it every game?
But if you're winning,
you have one bad game. Yeah, okay, that makes you a good quarterback. He's not elite in any type of way.
But okay, I'm saying if he's doing the one thing, like if he's not too far off from the other things that necessarily don't make him elite, but he does the one thing that literally matters, how can that be elite? His resume is elite.
You're saying the one thing that literally matters is winning that Super Bowl.
Winning in general. He's a winner in general.
But that's what I keep saying. Winning that Super Bowl, that was that team, the whole team effort. That's not specifically on Hurts.
I'm saying that I get that, but I'm saying Jalen Hurts is the straw that stirs the drink. Yeah, they have an elite roster, but he is the one that is actually putting things together on the field. Like, he's the quarterback. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows you can have an elite roster, but if your quarterback is not good enough, you're not winning anything.
You can have an elite roster with an average quarterback and go a lot of places.
Who is the average quarterback that has won you a Super Bowl?
Joe Flacco was not an elite quarterback.
Joe Flacco wasn't average, though. Joe Flacco was never average. In his prime, when they won the Super Bowl, he was not average. Are you serious?
Joe
Flacco was average back then? Joe Flacco was not average. He wasn't. He wasn't average.
Okay. So when
he was at least top 10, and top 10 is not average.
When the Ravens won that first Super Bowl with Ray Lewis, what was the name of their quarterback?
Trent Dilfer. Yeah. Okay, you can say he was average, but they also had one of the greatest defenses of all time. It happens. It can happen so often.
Again, that's my point.
You going back to a team that was over 20 years ago?
Okay, Peyton Manning, yeah, elite quarterback. But when they won that Super Bowl, how did they win that Super Bowl? It wasn't because of Peyton Manning.
Okay, that's
You
fair.
can, bro, a roster wins
But
you
also
Super Bowl,
you-
not the quarterback.
What?
A quarterback does not win.
No.
A roster wins a Super Bowl.
No.
Because, bro,
The Chiefs in 2022 had an average roster. Mahomes won them the Super Bowl. Like, it can work both ways. I'm saying, for the most part, yes, we can go through certain years, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, or whatnot, and find some teams that have won with average quarterback play. But I'm saying, for the most part, and especially in today's game, if you have an elite roster but an average quarterback, you're not winning a Super Bowl. You're not. And I'm saying the reason why the Eagles won the Super Bowl and have had success going to a Super Bowl in previous years is because of Hurts. And if he's the reason why this team is successful, then you can't say that he's not elite, because all the other guys that you're going to say are elite are either A, haven't got to the Super Bowl, or B, have gotten to the playoffs, lost to Hurts in the playoffs or the Super Bowl. So by default, you have to say Hurts is elite because the other guys haven't done what Hurts does.
no, I know, because all the other elite quarterbacks are in a whole separate conference. He doesn't have any other elite quarterbacks in his conference.
I'm saying the other quarterbacks you're naming haven't done what Hurts has done. So if you're going to say those quarterbacks are elite, when Hurts has done something that they haven't done, and Hurts has done it multiple times, then you have to say Hurts is in that category because he has something over him that they just don't. Like, Hurts has the MVP caliber year. Like, he has it. He might not have won it, but he has that on his resume, just like those guys have. Hurts, what those guys
Bro,
don't have.
an MVP caliber season does not go on
He
your
finished second in MVP.
Bro, we're not going to.
Okay.
MVP caliber season. You know how many athletes have had an MVP caliber season?
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
His running back also had an
Okay,
MVP
that's fair.
caliber
Okay, that's
season.
fair. I'm just saying he put a body of work from the start of a season to the end of a season of great quarterback play. Like, he's done that, and we know he can do that. That's not even a question. What I'm saying is that the reason why those other guys that you're gonna say are elite are the reason why you're gonna have Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson in elite category, and the same reason why we're gonna say that those guys can't necessarily get over the hump is because they haven't done something that Hurts has done. And before you say, oh, they play Mahomes, guess what? Hurts has played Mahomes twice and has outplayed him both times and has beat him once. Because even though he lost the first Super Bowl, he outplayed him. He played better than Mahomes in that game. So Jalen Hurts has done that, and those other guys haven't. You can't say that Hurts is not elite when he's been there and done that.
No, I can definitely say Jalen Hurts is not.
Well,
I'm saying it right now.
It wouldn't be.
I said it 2 weeks ago. I'll say it
It's
next
not
week.
valid enough because you can't say, oh yeah, Lamar is this, Josh Allen is this, Justin Herbert is this, Matt Stafford is this, like
And
that.
I'm willing to put Lamar Jackson on the brink of elite because of his ability to not perform that well in the playoffs. Josh Allen is elite. Patrick Mahomes is elite. Joe Burrow is, well, he can't stay healthy, but when Joe Burrow's play is elite, Lamar Jackson is on that brink of elite.
So I'm saying,
Very flashy quarterback.
I'm saying for Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, those guys, yes, they've gone to the postseason, had success. One of them has been to the Super Bowl, but Hurts has done everything those guys have done except winning MVP. That's the only thing you can say. He's done everything those guys have done except winning MVP, but those guys haven't done everything that Hurts has done, which is really the only thing that matters, which is win a Super Bowl and outdo an elite quarterback to do so in both times. So you can say, oh yeah, Hurts not elite. It wouldn't be valid though, because the same guys you put in that category, they haven't accomplished what Hurts has done when Hurts has done basically everything that they have. That wouldn't be fair to Hurts, because then it's like, all right, well, what more do you want me to do? I already, like, what's the category?
Bro, he won a Super Bowl. Bro, his roster is insane.
So is Mahomes.
Mahomes' roster was not insane every year that he won.
Maybe not every year, but Mahomes has had elite rosters before. I mean, heck,
Which one? Maybe in which year?
I'm talking 2021, 2020, 2019, and then even the team that they have that's healthy this year. Like
2019 was probably
and so was 2020, and so was 2021.
When they lost, that was the year they lost to Cincinnati.
In 2021, yes.
Okay, what about his other two Super Bowls? Neither of those rosters were.
Yeah, he wasn't, but I'm saying he's had good teams before, correct?
So he's proved that he can win. Yeah, he won one Super Bowl with a good team.
He won two. He won two with a good team.
Bro, when he beat Philadelphia that first year.
Okay, maybe not Philadelphia, but he got to the Super Bowl with a good team, and he was successful.
Okay, but he's also proved that he can win without an elite roster.
Okay, yeah, Mahomes is in a class of his own. I give you that. I'm not saying Hurts is where Mahomes is. I'm just saying Hurts is elite. Like, Josh Allen has good rosters. Burrow has had an elite roster his whole career, Burrow has had an elite roster his whole career.
Joe Burrow
has had an elite roster, elite offensive roster his whole career.
But we're talking about the whole roster. Because when Jalen Hurts is sitting on that bench, what is his defense doing? Shutting down quarterbacks. That is a huge help to win games. Jalen Hurts can win a game by only throwing 2 touchdowns because his defense is so good.
Who has the Eagles shut down this year?
You're talking about his Super Bowl win, right?
Okay, so we're just talking about Super Bowl win.
They shut down the Chiefs.
Yeah, and then Hurts put up 30 in the first half. And then Hurts also put up 30. Like, you making it seem like Hurts is doing nothing. Like, bro,
I didn't say he's doing nothing. I said he's not elite.
Okay, but hold on. Has the Chiefs defense not been have not carried Mahomes in these last couple of years? Have they not been the focal point of their team these last couple of years? Have they not had an elite defense that is, I ain't gonna say carry because nobody's carrying Mahomes. But
yeah, I say nobody's carrying
nobody's carrying Mahomes. But I'm saying the defense has been the focal point these last couple of years for Mahomes. Correct? Yes or no?
Last year.
The last two Super Bowls that he won.
Last year, no.
They had the number 1 defense in the league. What you mean? The offense was pitiful the whole year. The first year, the last year, and the year before that.
Would you say Mahomes put up good stats with?
No, not the last 2 years. He didn't put up good stats. No, he didn't.
He won MVP.
Not
the last
2 years
in 2022.
Ago. His last MVP was in 2022. The last, I'm talking about.
That was one of his worst offensive rosters. He lost Tyreek Hill that season.
Okay, so that proves my point then. That the defense was the defense was the focal point of that team.
And he won with that sorry offense.
I never said Hurts was up there with Mahomes. That's not my argument. That's not my argument. You're making an argument.
So what's your argument?
I'm saying my argument is that Hurts is elite.
No.
That's my argument. And I'm saying the Chiefs, you keep on bringing up, but Hurts has good defense. Okay, cool. A lot of great.
Not just defense, elite roster.
Okay, but I'm saying,
everywhere around the ball.
Okay, but I'm saying Hurts is not the only quarterback in the league with a great offense and great defense, correct?
Right.
Okay.
You have Jared Goff.
Okay. My point exactly. And I'm saying it's a couple of quarterbacks who have the same thing.
And none of them are elite.
Right, because none of them has done what Hurts has done.
Hurts is not
none of them has done. Jared Goff is a playoff choker. Like, none of them have done. They got the same stuff that Hurts got, and yet they can't do it. Why? Because when the moments come down to who can win you a game and who can't, those guys can't. And Hurts is proving that he can, which makes him elite, better than those guys.
Bro, why isn't Matthew Stafford elite if he's proved that he can win
Matthew Stafford is elite. I think he's elite.
I don't think he's elite.
Matthew Stafford is elite.
I don't think he's an elite quarterback.
Okay, well.
Bro, he's a damn good quarterback. Jalen Hurts, a damn good quarterback, but not elite. That's all I'm saying. He's not elite. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is trash. I'm not saying trade away Jalen Hurts. I'm just saying, bro, he's not an elite quarterback.
But Joe Burrow is.
Yes. Because we've seen Joe Burrow take a sorry
team where?
To Super Bowl with that sorry offensive line. He had Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase was a weapon. He had Joe Mixon. Outside of that,
T. Higgins.
But outside of that,
and a good tight end at the time.
Gesicki?
Yes.
Gesicki was.
And their defense was a lot better than what it is now. Back then. And I'm even saying, like, y'all making it seem like Hurts is the only player in the league with a great offense and a great defense. That's not the case.
We saw a historic defense, a historic offensive line, a historic running back.
You can't just put historic on everything, bro. He does not have the defense is historic.
Last year, when he won his Super Bowl, that's what you're basing.
What made that defense historic? That defense is not up there with 2000s Ravens. It's not up there with 85 Chicago Bears. It's not up there with Legion of Boom. Those are historic.
Let me not say historic. We can admit that was a great defense.
Yes, I told you. Yeah, it's a great defense.
Okay, a historic running back season.
Yes.
When was the last time you saw an offensive line as good as they were last year?
Detroit last year and the Cowboys a couple years ago.
But a great.
Yes, they had a great offensive line. Detroit currently has a great.
Historic?
Huh?
Would you say his offensive line was historic?
No, I wouldn't say it was historic.
But the running back season was, right?
Yes, that was the only thing that was historic.
A.J. Brown, great wide receiver.
Yes.
Great wide receiver.
Yes.
Devontae Smith.
He's a great two.
Right.
So is Jamar Chase. So is Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Keep going.
Huh?
I said keep going. Name bro, everything.
And you say name teams with great 1-2 punches?
No, I'm saying keep going. Like, name what else does Joe Burrow have that's great? He has a great wide receiver. He has a really good wide receiver, T. Higgins.
He has a great offense. That's what he had, a great offense.
When he won the Super Bowl?
Yes, when he went to the Super Bowl, they were a great offense. They were a great offense.
They were not a great offense.
Oh
bro,
my
that
gosh,
offensive line could
dude,
not protect
dude,
him.
dude,
Bro, that
dude,
his offensive line sucked.
Dude, they played. They literally to go to Super Bowl. They played the number 1 seed in the Titans that year and beat them. Then who they played? Was it Baltimore or Buffalo? I think it was Buffalo. They beat them.
That was the next year.
So who they played in the division that year?
They played Oakland, then Tennessee,
They played
then Kansas City.
Was that the year they went to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Okay, you might be right. So they played Oakland. They played Tennessee, who's the number 1 seed.
Or Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas. They played Tennessee in the second round, who's the number 1 seed, and then they beat Kansas City. Like, they had a great offense here and got to the Super Bowl. And basically would have won the Super Bowl.
Had not been for Aaron Donald.
Until what?
Had it not been for Aaron Donald.
Had it not been for, if it not been for Matthew Stafford and Cooper as well. So, because again, they went down the field and drove on the last drive to win the game, and then they couldn't do nothing afterwards. So I'm saying, like, we do so much nitpicking that we forget the fact that, yeah, Hurts has a great team, but so do mad other players in the league. We're looking at Jared Goff, who has a great team. We're looking at Baker Mayfield, great team. Heck, from what I've seen from the Seahawks this year, they got a great team, a great offense, and I would say a great defense. There's plenty of teams with great rosters. Like, you can do a top 10 list on elite teams with elite rosters.
Poke a hole in that Eagles team last year. Find somewhere in that team last year where you're like, okay,
I'm not necessarily saying they had holes, but I'm also saying that there are also teams who don't as well. But those teams don't have the success of the Eagles. And it's because of the quarterback. Because if you go into those other teams who don't have holes, the holes be within the quarterback. And I'm saying the quarterback got to the postseason, got to the Super Bowl, and for dang sure was the reason why they won it. And that's what I'm saying. He's the reason why the Eagles won the Super Bowl. You can say, oh, the defense played the defense. Okay, Saquon, yes. But I'm saying from October to January, the only reason why they got to the Super Bowl, I ain't gonna say the only reason why, but the main reason why they got to the Super Bowl was because Jalen Hurts' play. That is why. And if you look at Detroit, they got a playoff choker at their quarterback. You look at Baltimore. Everybody was saying the last couple of years, everybody's saying Baltimore got the best roster in the NFL. They couldn't do nothing because Lamar can't play well in the postseason. Like, we can go through all these teams. San Francisco with Brock Purdy. Like, everybody was saying the 49ers had the best roster 3 years ago. We can go through year by year by year by year, and when we go by and say, what did the quarterback do this year? Nothing that Hurts either hasn't done or didn't do. So it is what it is, bro.
Look, bro, we're gonna have to agree or disagree on that. We been here for so long. My iPad done died.
Oh,
I can't have the timer on. Hey, this has been D Squared. Appreciate y'all for sitting in with us and listening to that conversation. You have a good rest of y'all's day, man.